GMTs.
So hot right now.
And I'm not mad. Not one bit. Out of all the complications, for me, GMT is the bee's knees, the do-it-all watch with an additional function of tracking another time zone. Now, not all GMTs are equal, but there's certainly benefits of each design. Now, I know most people viewing this have been bombarded with silly terms like true GMT or even real GMT, whatever that means. I dislike these terms, nor are they correct in description, so I'll be sticking to the more accurate flyer or caller office GMT. The flyer GMT, as the name suggests, allow you to independently adjust the main hour hand to the exotic time zone you've just flown to, independent of the GMT hand. And yes, that's what you're looking at right now. And yes, this is the all-new Traska Venturer GMT. And yes, it's a flyer GMT. A point to note, this is a working prototype of the final that will be sold, and I'll point out any changes as we go along. At first glance, the Venturer GMT looks like the current generation. However, Traska have assured me that almost every component has been redesigned. Starting with the specs, you'll still get the perfectly sized 38.5mm stainless steel case that's had the same scratch-resistant coating as previous models applied. Lug-to-lug comes in at 46mm along with a 20mm lug width and a slightly increased thickness to 12.15mm, including the box sapphire crystal sitting on top. Pricing will be $695 US and there'll be no pre-order. These will be in stock and ready to purchase in January 15, 2023. No, I don't get any kickbacks. I just love what Traska are doing, and I love GMT watches. The case is almost identical to the previous Venturer. The top of the lugs are brushed to match really well with the bracelet and links. What's more impressive is the polished chamfers that effortlessly transition to the side of the case, which is polished. The finishing is remarkable and super impressive. Here you'll find drilled lug holes for quick strap changes, and from the side you can see the subtle convex curve of the mid-case and lugs to help with comfort, as shown on my 17cm wrist. My 17cm wrist. I also really like that Traska kept the thin, slope fixed bezel just like its sibling. From afar it looks polished, which it is. However, the lower portion drops off in a vertical fashion to reveal its radial brush flanks and integrates wonderfully with the case profile. This bezel adds a touch of class, which means the Venturer GMT wears well in a variety of situations, if that matters to you while travelling. From here we flow down to the solid, fully articulating, 3-link style stainless steel bracelet finished with the same hardening treatment as the case. It has a lovely taper from 20mm to 16mm. The links have been slimmed down slightly, and I do like this look better if I'm honest. Point to note here, the hardening is no joke. This is my personal Traska commuter I've had for over 9 months now, worn almost every day around 2 young kids, in the pool, in the bath, outside, etc. Not a single scratch to be seen. The double push clasp has been tweaked with slightly larger and rounder pushes, but still retains polished chamfers and the company's logo on the buckle. The inside of the clasp also retains its perlage finish, again something you don't see in higher end pieces and surprises me every day I put the commuter on. The buckle now has 5 micro adjustments with removable links through the use of flathead screws, making size of the bracelet straightforward. As mentioned earlier, drilled lugs also make up strap changes a breeze for those that wish to change the look on the odd occasion. At the 3 position, there's a well-sized signed screw-down crown that is easy to manipulate. Impressively, there's even a high polished chamfer on both crowns. Winding of the Miyota 9074 caliber movement is quite smooth, and once pulled to the first position, we immediately have access to that wonderful jumping hour hand that all us watch geeks love. This function allows quick time changing without interrupting timekeeping. The date can also be adjusted with movement of the hour hand through midnight, although there's no quick set date. In the second position, there's hacking of the seconds hand and of course the ability to change time, along with changing time of the GMT hand. A full wind of this exciting new automatic movement provides 42 hours of power reserve, and all movements are regulated by Traska in 4 positions with an accuracy of -10 to +20 seconds a day. Now I say exciting as this movement, along with, I think it's a new Citizen, is the first few movements to feature a Traveller's GMT with the independently adjustable hour hand. Watch this space as other small brands get their hands on these cool movements. The second crown at the 10 position operates the internal rotating bezel that displays a second time zone via a 24-hour scale. A globe motif replaces the logo on this crown, which is a nice touch. Continuing with the travel adventure persona, the Venturer also possesses 150 metres of water resistance for any excursions into wetland areas. On the reverse is a simple solid screwed in case back with engravings of model number and water rating. Up front, as I mentioned earlier, is a box sapphire crystal that also boasts a thick layer of anti-reflective coating on the underside, helping to eliminate glare and for easy reading. There are 4 colour variants that will be available, which are carbon black, woodland green, steel blue, and the Arctic white as seen here. The Venturer cleverly makes use of a lacquer dial to achieve its glossy finish. The brass dial blanks are first sprayed using an enamel paint before going into a specialised high temperature oven, after which they are hand polished. Under macro, they are very well finished and look great indoors or out. On the outer internal bezel, we have a 24-hour scale with a light grey undertone with white Arabic numbers. The grey looks to be darker than the previous version that I reviewed, and I really like this change. On this demo model, the internal bezel is very easy to operate and would not be usable as a small bump renders the time zone useless. But I have been assured by Traska that the final model will have a gasket and that any bumps will not cause the bezel to move, similar to that on the final models of the previous generation. On the main dial, the outer scale consists of a simple minutes track, while the well-finished applied polished batten markers stand even prouder and clearer than previous. The batten hands are again diamond cut, but this time appear to have polished edges, while the inner portion remains brushed. Whatever Traska did, the hands still are super pleasing to the eye and reflect light beautifully and also perform well under macro inspection. The additional GMT hand is simple yet effective, and the matching blue arrowhead with the GMT text on the bottom portion of the dial is just perfect. All hands and markers are generously filled with BGW9 Swiss-made Super Luminova, which has a blue hue and is very well applied. Thoughtfully, once again, the 24-hour numerals on the outer internal bezel are also Lume, which is a great touch. The date window is integrated well at the 6th position with a nicely finished polished frame, and this time I retract my statement about colour matched, as the white window on all colour variants balances the 12 o'clock markers nicely. I understand the watch comes packed in a genuine leather travel pouch that is small enough to go with you, or to use for storage at home like all the other Traska watches. The Venturer GMT really shows how Traska listens to feedback from customers and hopefully enthusiast reviewers like myself. This new version has had almost every aspect tweaked to make a good thing even better, and personally I find a GMT function much more useful than a 12-hour bezel. It's a well thought out yet simple and clever GMT watch that's been skillfully executed. It's not only a fantastic sports travel watch, but also a great offering in fit and finish for a very reasonable price. It really is an evolution of a sports, casual dive watch that somehow seamlessly blends together. And I want one. No, actually, I need one. Thanks for watching the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, and share. If you want to follow more daily content, head over to my Instagram page at Mr. Ace K Productions. Until next time.